A few days ago, in something I did not post, I wrote that I often find myself at 14th Street, mostly for Strand Bookstore and the movie theatre. But the street itself never quite felt like a favorite, not like 9th Street does. That impression seems to be changing though. I am beginning to like this part of Manhattan more than I did until recently. That's how some things are. They grow on you. If not for the rush I was in, I would have shown you why. And where was I running? To a movie. On the train, the evening light slipped in through the moving windows, dancing and dazzling, until the tunnels swallowed us all. A man held what looked like sheets of music, resting unevenly on his lap. There was something clumsy about him, the kind you often find in artists. On my right, a woman was reading a book. I tried to catch the title, but I failed. It was as usual nice to be in Manhattan. Even though I rushed, I still noticed a few things, some of which I knew I would see. Lack of novelty never feels like a reason to look away. When I arrived, the film had already begun. I knew nothing about it. A poster that said, "Small town, big secret," had felt enough. The film unfolded much like its title, normal at first, and then it found its moments. With books, I have always been forgiving and tolerant. A single paragraph, thoughtful and well written, has often been enough, even if the rest wandered. Now I see the same happening with films. The last two I watched, Normal and the Drama, weren't spectacular or novel in their premise, but there was something in how they were told, and that was enough to hold me. Perhaps this change came after I began to care more about writing, about filmmaking. When you love something, you become more patient with it, more attentive. The same, I think, is true of people. You begin to notice the smaller things, the everyday presence. Even what would otherwise come off as a compromise feels welcoming and warm when there is a growing affection and care. And outside, it was still bright. It was nearly 7:15 and the light was still holding on. I sat for a while, watched people pass, let the evening settle until the light thinned and the night fully arrived. And in its company, I made my way back home.